Today's the last day of exams, huh? You've seen all these before. You've got this.
Nice.
It's going good. Looking forward to seeing your score. Yeah, we crushed it. Thank God they're... Wow, they didn't have any more questions for me.
My parents are gonna kill me. There was so much stuff on that exam. I didn't have time to study everything.
Can't relate.
I probably could have managed if I had an extra week, too.
An extra week, huh? The only people who get that kind of cushy treatment are the honor students.
Oh shit, they get a whole extra week before their exams?
Oh, you mean like Yoshizawa-san?
I heard the school moved her
Oh.
exam period.
Hi.
Must be nice getting perks like that.
Oh shit.
Hey there.
Hey, what's up, dude?
Congrats on surviving finals. Today was the last day, right? Say, would you happen to have some free time right now?
Yeah,
There's something I'd like to discuss. I promise it'll just take a moment.
sure. Yeah, that's what I said. I said sure.
Thanks. I know you're exhausted, so I'll make this quick.
Okay. Are we going downstairs? We're going downstairs. Alright. What's up?
It sure has heated up now that the rainy season's passed. I just know my electric bill is going to start climbing this month.
For real.
Anyway, as I'd mentioned, there's something I'd like your opinion on.
Okay. Do you need counseling?
Well, I suppose that's
Oh.
actually accurate.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to joke about it. Again, I do have to wonder, did you just take over this nurse's office, dude? Is there a nurse in here? Do people actually come to the nurse? Like, what if someone's injured? Do we not have a nurse station anymore? Is it all just counseling? Not
I've
that
had
it's a bad
something
thing.
on my mind lately, and I want to hear your take on it.
Okay. Does it say Kool-Aid?
Here goes.
Do we not have first aid? We only have Kool-Aid?
Oh, this is all hypothetical, mind you, but imagine there's somebody for whom you have high expectations.
Okay.
They're trying their absolute hardest to meet those expectations.
Okay.
Now, this person receives an awful lot of special treatment from people so they can perform to the best of their abilities.
I'm starting to perhaps think that perhaps this is not so hypothetical.
So, what do you think those people will do if the expectations leveled on this person aren't met?
Kill them. I mean, I do think they'll turn on that person.
You're saying their expectations will turn into anger and scorn, right?
Yes, absolutely. That's just how, like, mob mentality works. When you already think something is unequal, and then you don't see the results that are expected from that unequal treatment, like the supposedly beneficial results, that's gonna lead to even more negative feelings on behalf of the people that didn't get that special treatment.
Yep, that's definitely true. When you work as a counselor, you always think, I have to help this person so their heart doesn't break. But that's easier said than done.
I can imagine.
This world really is a callous one. No matter how much positivity or dedication a person has, just a bit of influence from their peers can easily mess with their heads.
And I think too, like, this is such an impressionable age, high school. Like, it really makes a difference how people talk to you in high school. And it takes a lot to be able to overcome, you know, any negative things that you then associate with yourself because of how you were treated in high school, in my opinion. I think it's one of the worst periods to be mean to someone because you're starting to grow up and you're starting to develop and kind of find yourself as a person. And if you're given like negative feedback or negative reinforcement, it can be really hard to get out of those cycles on your own.
Every time I'm confronted with such a situation, I can't help but grasp the limitations of therapy as a profession.
Yeah. I mean, you do just have to keep this, that's so mean, dude. We can't say that to him. That's horrible. I mean, then this is like big zero time dilemma energy, so you just have to keep trying. Like, that's all I can do.
I'm not sick of this job or anything like that. Don't worry.
Okay, good. I didn't want that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get all analytical.
That's cool. Can I ask you a question? Why do you wear your lanyard like this? It's weird.
What I meant was, If
Like,
we want to truly
what's it
help
connected
people
to?
stuck in a predicament like that, we need a fundamental solution.
Okay. Like what? Like what?
Nothing really comes to mind at the moment.
Cool.
This is just a thought, but
What?
if we got the Phantom Thieves to change our hearts?
Okay, so I want to slightly now that this is a new session from a couple days ago, right? I want to clarify what I said then, because I think perhaps I wasn't super clear about my stance, and this will help me get it across more, I think. I think Kasumi has a good idea, except for in situations like the boss fights of this game, where there's really nothing like an individual person in, you know, let's say my position or Akira's position or anybody would really be able to do to like fix that situation, right? But in situations, for example, like, maybe this isn't the best one to pick, but it's just the first one that comes to mind. Some of the more low stakes ones that we deal with mementos, like the dominatrix student, or that kind of one, those ones where things could theoretically be solved by the person who's being affected taking the matter into their own hands and actually taking proactive steps to try and fix it. I think that's a completely different situation, and that's more in line, in my opinion, with Kasumi's point, where if eventually this just gets to a situation where everybody, and you know this would happen, where eventually if we did ramp up our mementos activities and we just started doing super mundane changes of heart, people would be like, oh, I don't even need to try to solve my own problems. I'm just gonna ask the Phantom Thieves to do it. Like, oh, I'm having a problem with this person because they're being a dickhead, and but I'm not gonna like try and work on that myself because I don't need to. I'm just gonna ask the Phantom Thieves to fix it. And I mean, obviously, they don't know that that's not gonna work every time because there has to be kind of a specific set of circumstances for us to be able to do anything. But that kind of demotivates people from trying to solve their own problems. And again, I want to express that this doesn't apply to things like boss fights, because those are actual bad guys that probably an individual person isn't gonna be able to do anything about, you know? Like, there's no individual action there that could be taken that would necessarily cause the change that a change of heart would. But for example, the dominatrix student just seemed like she needed a talking down. And would that have been hard and scary and, you know, might not work in the end? Yeah, of course. But it's important to try and fix your own problems before going to other people for help in a situation like going to the Phantom Thieves for help. Going to other people to, you know, talk things out or ask them for help in dealing with your problem is of course fine. But asking someone to solve your problem for you when you haven't even, you know, given it a good try yourself is kind of where I take issue with some of it. And it's interesting because, for anyone who doesn't know, I am married, my husband's also a lawyer, we've played this game together, and it is one of, like, some worldview that we fundamentally disagree on. Like, we have different opinions about this game in general, in some instances, and that's why I think that there is no right or wrong answer, basically. Like, that's why I was so hard on everybody can have your own feelings about the Phantom Thieves, provided your views are not hurting others or taking away other people's rights. Like, and I think that's what's part of what makes society interesting and beautiful. But situations like this, no, not right off the bat. Like, you do need to work on yourself. Because when you think about what the Phantom Thieves do, to be honest, I don't think we know the long-term effects on a person of what we've done. Like, I can't imagine, theoretically it's supposed to, like, steal those negative desires as though they never had them, right? So, and I could be totally off base here because I actually don't remember if they ever talk about this, but that's kind of what I assume it to be, right? So now that person has to then live with themselves for doing things that they, in their mind now, never even had the desire to do. They just did them for some reason. And while I'm not saying that those people deserve joy and happiness, they're bad people. Like, I can imagine the effects on your psyche are probably really wild down the line. But this, I'm hard against this in most circumstances.
Maybe have them shift our feelings so we won't lose to this unfair reality. It would ultimately be for the positive.
Like, I mean, and again, it's one of those things where, of course, if people could never suffer again, that would be great. But the fact of the matter is, we live in a world where there is suffering, and while most of it is preventable and that should be prevented, the more individual struggles do help you grow as a person in some capacity. And I'm not talking about, you know, super serious stuff, but like, you know, I'm not saying struggle is good. That's why it's so hard to formulate a position on this, because it's such a nuanced argument, and like Sumi said, it should never be generalized. Like, each situation is very unique, and I don't think anything like this should ever be, like, applied to an entire population. Like, that just causes more harm than good. I mean, is that really a change of heart, though? Like...
Good point.
That's a change of mind.
Sorry, I was just thinking out loud.
Okay.
I seem to have lost track of the time. I should be getting back to my work.
This was a weird conversation. Bye.
Our conversation's been very enlightening. Thank you.
Okay, see ya.
And enjoy your vacation.
Oh, hell yeah, it's summer. I don't know, sorry for getting up on my soapbox again.
Exams are finally over.
What's up, squad?
I'm so exhausted.
But I think it's important to talk about this game, and, like, I understand that people are probably gonna disagree with me. I say a lot of hot takes in these things that people don't agree with, and I'm pretty used to it. I just think it's important not to invalidate anyone's experience, you know?
I can get back to actually sleeping in peace.
Were you disrupted at all, Ryuji?
You must have been studying pretty hard if it kept you up at night.
Bitch, you know that ain't true.
Nah, I was up playing video games. Slacking off is just too much fun.
True.
I know, right? I kept cleaning my room instead of studying. It might even be too clean now.
You two are perfect exemplars of what escapism can mean.
And I can only imagine what the end result will be.
It's alright, girl. It's not your problem.
Whatever. It's over with now. Who cares about that anymore?
You're gonna care in like 2 weeks.
What's real important is the Phantom Thief's popularity. Ain't it amazing?
It kind of feels like our time's finally here.
I have even heard people excitedly speculating about our next target. We will have to choose carefully.
Sounds good.
There's no need to hurry. We should spend some time thinking it over.
I agree. There is no point rushing into anything.
Hold up. The most important thing now is our celebration party. I hope you guys didn't forget. It's the fireworks festival on the 18th. I guess we're good meeting up in Shibuya, yeah? Let's say 5 p.m.
Cool.
We sure are on top of these kinds of things.
True. Wish you were that dedicated to studying.
Now for the weather.
Uh-oh. What? It seems we'll continue to have localized torrential rainstorms all through next week. If you're heading outside, be prepared for sudden changes in the weather. Well, that sounds bad. Time just flew by today, huh? Yeah, it sure did. Let me guess.
Let's go to bed.
Do you want to talk?
Okay.
Let's find ourselves a new target. Alright, well, we'll do that, but we gotta go to bed now, apparently.
Let's go to bed.
It's good that exams are over. Let's go to sleep. Yeah, alright. Well, I guess I don't have anything else I can do, so... It's bedtime. Oh, hello?
Hey, it's me.
Yeah, what's up? Sorry for calling so late. I wanted to ask you about the summer festival. You remember the one I told you about? Yeah, I think so.
Come on, man.
Well, I know so, damn it. Come on, the whole thing with the kebabs?
So, like...
Oh, that summer festival. Not the fireworks one. I was like, we literally just talked about it. What the fuck do you mean? I completely spaced on it until now, but the festival's tomorrow. So you wanna go? Yeah, let's go. Fine, whatever.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I knew you'd be down. Let's make sure we invite Yusuke too. He's always down to chow. I did just remember they said it might rain tomorrow though. Whatever, no way it's gonna rain on a day like this. It's raining right now. See you tomorrow. How would he know whether or not it'd rain? Sheesh, all worked up over a silly little festival, full of food of all kinds. I suppose you deserve to enjoy yourself, but be sure to keep a low profile, alright?
Let's turn in for the night.
Alright, let's get some sleep. Oh, and no sleeping in, got it? I'm gonna skip breakfast for this. Yeah, before you go to these things, you gotta fast.